Voices of Defiance Special Report number 4 on Continuum, 0 Hour, recorded and streamed live Sunday, October 4th, 2015.
I'm Wing from the Starling Tribune, a podcast member of the GonnaGeek network, just like the one you're listening to now. The opinions expressed are those of each individual. Check out all other podcasts at GonnaGeekNetwork.com and get ready because geekiness begins in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Voices of Defiance. It's a podcast about sci-fi's television show Defiance and all of its universes to include, but not limited to, the video game. We're not experts, just a few fans like yourself that love the show and want to geek out about it. If you haven't caught up to the latest aired episode, you might want to pause right now and go catch up, since there will be spoilers. You have been warned. And now, let's have some fun and get on with the podcast.
Whoa, future me meets past me, mind blown. Hello, I'm your host of Voices of Defiance Stargate Pioneer. My friends call me SP. And with me is the woman who has a podcast on a time travel show, but has yet to figure out how to set her alarm. Her name is Shannon.
You know what? Those are tricky things. Tricky things.
Tricky.
Well, you know, I did set it. I just turned it off.
I see.
There's a difference. It went off, and I chose to ignore it.
Of course, ignoring is how it goes. So today we'll be talking about Season 4, Episode 4, so only 2 more episodes left of Continuum. We'll be talking about 0 Hour today. Just a reminder, you can catch us at GonnaGeek.com. Go to the contact page and find all the great ways to reach us, including our voicemail line, 612-888-ARC1 or 612-888-2751. And as always, since we're really a Defiance podcast, we need to talk about what news we have heard in the past week about #Renew Defiance. So, Shannon, go.
Freaking nothing.
It's a black hole.
Freaking sci-fi is what I'm starting. You know what? That's the new term that a friend of mine called it this week. That's what I'm calling it, di-fi from now on.
So I think what's going on is the wormhole that we saw being constructed this week in Continuum is actually sucking up all the Defiance into it. And it's going...
Well, you know, he did travel through the wormhole in the butt plug, so... You know, we can't let that go.
Butt plugs unite. There we go. Yeah, so nothing, but next week, Sci-Fi will be at New York Comic Con. It is not listed that Defiance has anything at New York Comic Con.
You know what? The only relatable Defiance thing at all going on at the New York Comic Con is David Peterson, the guy that does the language.
Which he does everything. I mean,
he will be there. Of course, he's not the same day that I'll be there.
He is everywhere. I mean, have you followed him on Twitter?
It's the only Defiance. I tell you, I am so disgruntled at the moment.
Well, and what I'm trying to say is he's not just Defiance. He does languages for everything, from Lord of the Rings to...
Yeah. Lord of the Rings, yeah.
He's amazing in everything that he does and the groups that he has. He's not the only guy, right? He's an amazingly talented guy. But one of the things that he does is he puts together groups of people that actually make up languages, whether it's Klingon or whatever is in Defiance. I mean, there's 12 different languages in Defiance, that sort of thing. You have all these new languages coming up either in fantasy or sci-fi or whatever. And he's not just going to be at New York Comic Con for Defiance. He's going to be at it for all of his bodies of work, including the art in general of creating languages. So I wouldn't say that he would have any Defiance news at all.
No, he don't have anything. The people I know that work on the show have nothing. Nothing.
Right.
So we're past the date that they did the renewal last year. That was the 25th of September, right?
Yep, we are past that.
We're well past that. Dominion, I think, is just finishing.
Uh-huh.
And I'm beginning to think it's going to come down between the Dominion or Defiance. And the problem I see is Dominion, although I don't watch it, I'm not a fan of Dominion. I've heard good things about it, I just don't watch it. But I know that the ending was more of a cliffhanger. And what do we not have with Defiance?
Yep.
We don't have a cliffhanger.
It was tied up in a nice little bow and given to us fans as, if we don't get another season, here you go.
I'm pretty sure I won't be getting that tattoo.
Woohoo! No pain for Shannon.
I want that tattoo, though.
I know. It would be great. And don't forget our great Redbubble store. If you go to redbubble.com and you search for Voices of Defiance, you'll find all of our great products, which is basically everything Redbubble will stamp our logo to. So go ahead.
I tell you, Redbubble gets so much of my money.
I know. I'm drinking out of a Voices of Defiance coffee cup right now. I haven't got tea in it, but
I see that.
Yeah, I know. 11 ounces.
I see there's a nice little Kenya picture there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the whole logo. You can't really see the whole...
Kinsey.
Right. You can't really see the whole thing from any one angle, so it kind of wraps around, but it's fun. All right, so that's basically it for Defiance and hashtag Renew Defiance. So get out there, tweet sci-fi, hashtag Renew Defiance, bug them until they give us an answer one way or the other.
Did you see the meme I made earlier in the week with the monkeys?
Yes, I did.
I was awfully proud of myself. And then I forgot to tag him. I'm like, okay, we got to go tag him. So.
Yep, you got to go back.
Ted is going to be, I'm pretty sure he's like, oh, there's that girl again. So.
Oh, yeah, you. I was like, who? What girl? What are you talking about?
Yeah, Di-Fi. That's what I'm labeling them from now on. I'm telling you what, if we get it, at this point, I just want a freaking answer. You either tell us our fate and cancel it, or move on and give us something else. So if we don't get it, Di-Fi is going to have so many memes directed at them.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be done.
Well, I mean, there's all sorts of good shows that are...
Yes, I understand that.
Yeah.
But every time I get into a good show on the Sci-Fi Channel, they cancel it.
Yeah.
So I'm now getting to Into Dark Matter, but it's already on Netflix. So I don't have to worry about it being taken from me again.
Right.
And they've already got a second season coming. But it's on Netflix because but NBC puts it on Netflix. So...
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a good thing that it's on Netflix and not Amazon Prime. I think they made the mistake going Amazon Prime with Defiance. Yeah, and I can't blame them because Amazon and Netflix and all the streaming services that are out there right now are trying to create a homegrown product, and they're trying to establish themselves as a Netflix out there. And I'm telling you, Netflix is just the game in town that you want. So hopefully we'll get a fourth season, but I think the damage has already been done with Defiance.
Me too.
Okay. So let's move on to another show that has been canceled. Not a sci-fi show. It does air on Sci-Fi in the United States, but it is actually a showcase show in Canada. We are podcasting as we wait for the announcement on Defiance on the final 6 episodes of Continuum in the 4th season. We are on episode 4 of the 6 episodes. It's season 4, episode 4. It's the 40th in the season. I mentioned it before. A lot of 4s for this week.
4.
Yeah. And a 0. And the episode is called 0 Hour. It was written by Jonathan Lloyd Walker. Now, I mentioned him on our last podcast. Did you happen to look his IMDb up, Shannon?
I did not.
Do you know who Jonathan Walker is?
No.
Well,
should I?
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
He's done a lot of
Stargate.
He's done a lot of one-off appearances. He's done Fringe. He's done a few episodes on Continuum. He's done V. He also was Rankle on Flash Gordon, which was a sci-fi series in 2007-2008. So he does have a lot of sci-fi cred to him. So he is now transitioning into writing. He did write this episode, and it was directed also by David Frazee, who directed 5 Continuum. I almost said Defiance. 5 Continuum episodes, and also has experience with Orphan Black. So we actually have quite the pair tilling the rudder for this episode.
For a second, I'm thinking, I've only watched 2 shows this week, and it was Sleepy Hollow, which I didn't finish, and this one. And I was thinking, okay, who was the director? Because I don't remember it now, of course, lack of sleep, but I remember when I saw the director's name on a show, I'm like, I know that name. But obviously it's Sleepy Hollow, which is something I'm really getting into.
Well, we have a lot of great shows that have aired in the past 2 weeks. My favorite out of the whole new bunch is actually...
I missed it.
You missed what?
I missed Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, it's great. You could probably get it on demand right now through your cable. I think you guys have cable provider. And it was a phenomenal episode. We just went nuts over on. If you want to talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., go find the other Marvel podcasts on the GonnaGeek Network, Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. Haley, Lauren, and myself are the co-hosts for that, and you can find that at legendsofshield.com or GonnaGeek.com. And it was a great episode. I was going to ask you if you had watched Heroes, but apparently you have not.
I haven't.
Okay, no big deal. But my favorite new show of the fall is The Muppets. And if you haven't watched that, you will laugh your butt off. It's 30 minutes of fun. And I can't, it's like the old Muppet Show, and they rebooted it. They made it way better. They still have all the stars coming in, mostly ABC people, because of course,
clearly
it's a Disney property, but you have all these stars coming in. You have Miss Piggy running a talk show, and that's the whole thing about the Muppets is it's around producing the Miss Piggy talk show. And so they have, if you ever watch The Office, the American version of The Office, they do that interview cam off to the side, and it's fun. So, but that was so far my favorite fall show, which is really weird, but it's it. And there are some good ones, Blind Spot, Limitless, and Heroes. So go check all those out. But yes, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. premiered last week. Next week we have Arrow and Flash premiering, and then the following week we have Supergirl premiering. So a lot of great geeky shows are coming out.
Yeah, there's going to be a whole Supergirl thing at the Comic-Con.
Yep, that'll be fun for you to check out. So, okay.
I think Limitless is going to be there too.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So, especially because it's produced by none other than Bradley Cooper.
Really?
Yeah, he's the guy behind it, and he will be appearing in episodes from time to time. He's senator right now, and he might be president. We'll see. He's debating running for president because it's more work. They get in it on an absurd amount of time off in the Senate, or so he says. So anyway, back to Continuum 0 Hour. The reason why we're here. I've got a question for you, Shannon.
What?
Where's Garza?
Good question. She's on the run.
Yeah.
She's pissed off and took off.
You know, Alec has that lonely scene at his table where he's envisioning the big dinner that they had with Emily there, with Lucas there, who's dead now, and Emily has split. She's gone. And also with, who's Julian, who's now living with Kagami. Yeah. And Castor Vega answered us in the chat, where's Garza? And Castor said, she's invisible. Yes, she is, actually. Good callback. She is in the suit. She could actually be in the apartment, and she's definitely invisible. So we'll see what happens there.
She's invisible for very short periods of time.
Well, near the time thing, right? But away from the building, she can be invisible as she wants.
Yes, clearly she's going to have a big role to play because she's finally got a new toy at the end of the season. So
now, if I had one of those suits and could be invisible, I'd know exactly where I'd be, and I will leave that up to your imagination. So anyway, that was my first.
Okay.
Yeah, right. That was my first note of the episode. Where's Garza? And then, of course, the sad table talk or whatever. And then poor Jason, right? He's a man out of time. He's like Kira, except for worse, because he's actually got his dad in front of him, and it's not his dad. They have slipped time streams. It's a different time period, right? So this is not his dad, first of all. And then secondly, he's not going to be his dad at all. And it's a little frustrating. He's like,
and apparently he's not going to have the same mom now either.
Well, no, he will always be born, right? Okay. So this episode actually solved that issue of Kellogg's mom being dead, right? And we were like, why is Kellog alive?
Right.
And so you have to go back to that and then extrapolate the statement made in this by Alec saying, look, you still are born. Nothing's going to change that. That's a different time. And you are who you are. I'm just a different guy, Alec was saying, which means that Kellog can still be alive because his mom was alive in that different time period. So it solved that catch-22 there, that paradox.
You know, going back to Jason, poor Jason, he's being strong-armed by Alec into showing him his mother, but then he's like, I just want to see her. Then I just want to go in. I just want to talk to her. I'm ordering pie. So Jason's like, enough. I'm done. Little Alec can't be trusted.
Yeah, Alec never can be trusted because he's always tinkering around with time,
he's
right?
Like a wet noodle. He always flip-flops back and forth.
So he's like, I want to see this woman. And he sees her, and she's a sweet gal and everything. But you know that Alec wants Emily. You know
he even got her number.
Exactly. He got her number, the little hearts around it, whatever. She definitely is into him. And if I was her, I'd totally be into him, too.
No.
I mean, she works in a diner, and you've got this intelligent, witty guy coming in that's not bad looking. You know, personally, I wouldn't cross the street for him, but I'm not a woman. And you're like, oh, this guy can save me, and we could have a great life together and I might not have to work in this diner anymore. So she's definitely flirting with him with the apple pie stuff and everything. And it just freaks Jason out because, like, that's his mom. Can I have some milk?
That was a good line.
Like, really, Jason? You got to go there. Jason is, the actor that plays Jason just does an incredible job. I was thinking about that, where he's got to play this crazy guy, this mentally unstable guy, and it's not his fault because you see how he was put together in the time frame of before he got sent back in time. And he's great, but yeah, he's so schizo now.
As an actor, the only other thing I've seen him in is Sanctuary, and there he played Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So he played crazy there too. It wasn't on the same level as crazy as Continuum, but he's a phenomenal actor.
Yeah.
Cause him and the guy that plays Brad, both of them played on Sanctuary with Amanda Tapping.
They did. Okay. So Brad, all right. I got a lot to say about everybody in this episode. So let's go back to Alec for an instant. So he's tinkering with time, right? And he gets anointed by the Traveler. We'll talk about the Traveler in a little bit, but he gets anointed by the Traveler and then gets to meet future self, I guess. Yeah, right. And future self is definitely a dick because you learn that he killed his wife. He killed Jason's mom. It's like, dude, what? Oh, man,
Well, he didn't actually physically kill her, but...
I think he did. I think that's what Alec was saying in the park later, that one day he might wake up and strangle his wife. I think that's what happened. And it's like, oh, man, I am not... All along, I was a future Alec fan. No longer. You're dead to me, dude. Alec, make a different path. I'm fine with it now. And I've always been like, I want to get to the future. I want to get to the future, Alec, because that's where Kira's home is. That's where Sam is. So that's where she wants to go. But now I just like, there's got to be a different way. There's definitely a different way for everybody, right?
Right. I don't know. I thought, but then again, I told you I had the kids running around me, so I had to pause a lot. But I thought he said that she took her own life.
No, I think he killed her. I think that's...
Schmuck. Okay.
I know. Exactly. Okay. That's why I'm like, I can't take this anymore. Okay, so get rid of that future Alec.
So we had the Traveler who, when Chin was telling him...
Let's wait on Traveler for a second. Okay. Let's finish off Alec. So Alec, after he comes out of that daydream, he's like, oh, I know the path now. But in true Alec form, he doesn't tell anybody. Kira's trying to prod him, like, what happened? He doesn't tell her. And then they get back to the police station later, and he's divulging what Jason has found. Oh, okay, this is a time portal. It's going to receive a bunch of people, and we'll talk about that later. But I just want to focus on the fact that Alec is not telling everybody exactly what's on his mind, and that's specifically what makes future Alec a dick.
No one is telling everyone everything. Everyone has their secrets. Every one of them.
Even though at the end of the episode, they try to lay all their cards on the table, and it just doesn't happen. So... Okay, I'm done with Alec. Who do you want to talk about next? The Traveler or Brad?
Chin.
Okay.
Chin
Curtis
is watching them. Yeah, Curtis is watching them through the woods, right?
Yeah.
So I think he's trying to set Alec on his path, the correct path. And and then of course little whiny Alec, like always, I'm done with you. And then that's when the Traveler shows up. So the Traveler was trying to stop him so he could show him, so he could get him back on his right path. So I think Chin is actually trying to help. I didn't really trust him to begin with. Just like I didn't really trust Brad to begin with either, but I think they both still tried to help.
Okay, so I think Curtis is the key to fixing everything. And unfortunately, we're missing at least 3 seasons for the Traveler development. So the Traveler is really coming out of nowhere. Yes, we have the freelancers and we know that, but I think there was going to be a lot more development with the Traveler. But so they had to exposition it. They had to have Curtis say, okay, this is what happened. He was sent back in time to observe history and to come back and tell everybody. Because, okay, a lot of historians would like that. Go back to the pyramids of Egypt and see how they were born. Go back to the birth of Christ and see how that actually went down.
Don't miss anything. Don't miss your timeline.
Right, just observe, right? Well, somewhere along the line, he screwed stuff up, and they've been trying to fix it ever since. And then in comes the freelancers, and he tried to align himself with them. They weren't all that great. So now we're at the point where he sees a way to actually fix time, and he's trying to get Curtis to fix it for him. So we have that going on as well. Now, a lot of people, we got his email from Castor Vega, and he says, oh, or the Traveler is Jesus. He brought Chin back from the dead so he can move throughout time and space. He is pale, thin, has long hair, and doesn't like to wear shirts. He has to be Jesus, or a lead singer for a hard rock band.
Or Kellog.
I still don't think he's Kellogg.
We shall see. 2 more episodes.
All right, fair enough. We have 2 episodes, so we'll see. But yes, the Traveler goes back in time and does all that stuff.
But you know he's ill, though, because the dialysis machine is for him.
See, I think that might be a red herring. It might be, as Wing calls it, Chekhov's gun, because I think what the issue is that they're trying to provide Kellogg something to focus on, like he is dying of kidney failure, but yet they're actually going over here and, okay, I'm just going to go there right now. They're going to bring an army in and they're going to lay waste to Vancouver. That's what they're bringing in, not those people. Brad even says they're dead. And then Soren said, no, they're not dead. They're still alive. No, They're dead. They want to bring an army in.
Yeah, exactly. That army, because that's the same way they stole the blood. The same thing Kira said that you do that when you have an army.
Right. So that's really, we all know that's really what's going on. But Brad thinks he's going to bring the remainder of his family in. So he's all like, oh, let me do my thing. Let me do my thing. And they don't trust him, but they're like, okay, we need this machine so Kira can be sent back. So everybody's playing everybody else, and it's just going to be I predict at the end of the next episode, which is already aired in Canada. So if you're listening to this, yes, we have not seen it. Shannon and I have made a point only to see the episodes that have been broadcast in the United States. So at the end of the next episode, it's going to be a mess. You're going to have all pandemonium breakout, and then you're going to have the final episode trying to figure it out. So, Brad, you are being played both ways, and you are not making good decisions.
Who do you think we're going to lose?
Well, I think Brad's definitely going to die. I think Kira's husband is going to die because, he's a schmuck. I think
there's a good chance we're going to lose Carlos.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely. Dylan. Okay, so Dylan
needs to go because
I know,
don't like him.
But he is actually doing the right things right now. So I was thinking about this. Dylan is in a spot where he can actually facilitate the Kellogg VPD collaboration at the end. I think he's been set up to do that, and then I think he'll die sacrificing himself for the betterment of everybody. He's got to clear his conscience.
Well, he is having some conscience issues. He doesn't like what Kellogg's having him do.
No, he doesn't, but in the grand scheme of things, I kind of see where Kellogg is coming from on this. Yeah, he does own the VPD. So having Dylan get those files is totally legit.
And then Kellogg, again, the other wet noodle who flips sides daily, now he's seeing, what exactly is he seeing now that he's calling Kira?
See, he sees his death and he sees him being played by the soldiers. But this is the brilliant thing. Vasquez has actually planted that information to him. Like the dialysis machine.
She's playing him for playing him. Yeah.
The dialysis machine was intentionally put in that storage locker to be found to make Kellogg go somewhere else.
See it.
Yeah.
Yeah, to stir him, to direct him in the right path, the way that they need him.
Yeah, to manipulate him. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So that's what's going on there.
And I found it kind of odd that Carlos and Kira was going all the way down this long hall with bolt cutters and then a dialysis machine.
Right.
That was it. So, planned.
Yeah, definitely planted. Absolutely. So, we'll see what happens there. So, what do you want to talk about next? The blood bank withdrawal that was totally for the soldiers coming in, the supercomputer to make the time machine. What do you got?
Do you think it's going to also be a weapon?
No, I literally think it's a portal.
You don't need it. That's not the weapon. The weapon's going to be the soldiers coming through.
But what was interesting was the key. They want that key back,
They want the key.
And it was interesting to me that Brad knew it was a key, but he didn't know it was a key to what. I think he knew what it was for. It was what it was a key for.
Yeah, and the look on his face when he realized that she didn't have it, but maybe Alec has it.
Right. So he's going to be coming after Alec next episode to get the key.
There's so many different players.
That's where Emily comes back. She's
the look on your face just now.
I know. Well, I just realized Emily's going to come back to protect Alec from Brad trying to get the key.
Of course, she kicks ass on anybody who hurts a little boy.
She does. Oh, I can't wait to see her back. No idea if she's actually going to show up in the next episode or not, but I just see that.
Maybe Brad was not Brad. There's so many names running through my head at the moment. His son.
Jason.
Thank you. Maybe Jason's lying. Maybe actually she is his mom. And Jason was, maybe he was just trying to steer Alec in a different direction.
That would be interesting, right? But no, future Alec confirmed it. Unless it was really Emily and he had Emily killed. Ooh, dang.
Nothing can really be confirmed in the future because it all can change in the past.
No, but future Alec did say that you weren't supposed to meet her yet. So I think that would... What's her name anyway? Do you remember? Annie, yeah. That's right, because she wrote it on the thing, and I remember seeing it.
Unlike Defiance, where I have a clear understanding of everything that's going on in Defiance.
No idea.
I have no idea in this one. And that's, again, I've said before, that's what I like about Continuum. It keeps me on my toes. I can't sit here and explain everything in my mind because I don't understand it. I had to go back and watch Continuum twice just to understand what the hell they're talking about on a lot of the paragraphs. I mean, on a lot of their scenes. So, unlike Defiance, I can sit here and I can be confident and tell you what I'm thinking is going to happen. I have no idea on this one.
So a couple of things about Emily. First, Ryan in the chat said, I thought that future Alex said that he had killed her by not taking care of her. And we're talking about Annie, not Emily. I'm sorry. I thought that he said that future Alec, killed Annie by not taking care of her and being obsessed with work and not acknowledging her mental illness.
Right. I could have swore he said she took her own life.
Yeah. Well, to my retort to that was no Star Wars 3 moment there. No. Natalie Portman dying of depression, whatever. And then Castor Vega in the chat said, I just hope that Continuum does a Caprica and Emily becomes a religious leader again. No, that's funny, but that's Julian. So that's not Emily. Sorry. Evil Sadler. Okay. That's what we have to call future Alec. Evil Sadler. There you go.
I just call him the cigarette smoking man. That's what he's from. X-Files.
Right. And then Satak. We haven't... Satak, whatever. We haven't seen that. It's all Pyron. All right. So Vasquez had an interesting moment with Kellog that I just want to point out. I love this moment where she pins him to the car and basically says, your weakness is unattainable women. He's like, yeah, so tell me something I don't know.
I saw that one coming.
Oh, she's
Sean was
awesome.
walking through the room. I'm like, watch. And I was hoping she just didn't do a powder cake and nothing.
Yeah. So does Sean at least like Kira? That's her name, the actress's name. Vasquez? You don't know?
I don't know.
Okay.
He watched this episode with me.
Oh, well, the one episode not for him to watch. This episode, great.
He watched it with me, but he was pretty much trying to wrangle the kids for me.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Sean, for doing that. All right.
Yes, because they drive me crazy. So
I'm out for notes. What else do you got, Shannon? What else do you remember?
That's it.
I know. It's like it was a huge setup
the
episode.
moment we're done, I'll remember everything that I wanted to say. But it runs through my head so much. I feel for Carlos because he is clearly getting played and lied to on both ends. No one is telling him the truth. And the way he sits and looks at Kira and Alec across the station, and he's like looking at their facial expressions, and he knows that they're lying to him, just like he watched her at the jail with homeboy that's in the jail right now, who is the only one that's safe in the timeline at the moment because he's in there. I don't know. I feel bad for Carlos. I still don't think everyone's telling him the truth, and I don't like the fact that Kira doesn't think that she could tell him anymore.
Yeah. They say that everything's on the table. Everything is not on the table.
Nothing is on that table.
And there's plenty being played. Kellogg is being played and Brad is being played. So
Brad is being played.
Absolutely.
He's playing Kira also.
Right. Well,
Kira is playing Carlos. She's not telling him everything.
I don't think Brad is playing Kira. I think he's being manipulated to play her.
Okay. He doesn't know he's playing her.
Right.
Alec is definitely playing everyone that he touches, talks to, breathes around.
He is, man. And the one person he's not really playing is Jason. And he's open with Jason, but he doesn't have anything to hide from Jason either. So,
well, Jason can't really contain it. Also, Jason has his brief moments of brilliant, but then it slips away. So, I mean, it's not like he's trying to really hold a secret. It's not going to go anywhere when he tells Jason.
Right. So, okay. Castor in the chat brought up Travis. I just want to say Travis was in the pre-promo for either next week or the rest of the season, one of the two. And I think Kira and Travis will team up to do something. So I think we've got that to look forward to.
Which is, you can always see that coming because at the beginning, he was the one that's kind of really in charge of Liberate, even though you had the girl, Sonya. Sonya,
yeah.
Right. He was the muscle. So now that Sonya's gone, and he truly loves Sonya, but now that Sonya's gone, the rest of them look up to him. So we're, now that we don't have
the rest of them, there's two. There's Garza and Travis. Because Lucas is dead, Sonya blew herself up, and Kellogg is an entity onto its own, and that was the 5.
Right. Well, as you said before, Garcia's is hiding in plain sight somewhere.
Yep.
So I could definitely see Kira and Travis teaming up.
Yeah. Okay. There was more than 5, by the way. There was Kagami, and then there was Curtis. So that's
all right. So going back to your girl there, because we talked about that before.
Which girl? Which girl?
I don't know if we were active and live yet. She's in the suit.
Kira or Garza?
Garza.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm like bad with names at the moment. My mind's like jumbled. Garza, where do you think she's hiding? Because she gets those brief moments in that suit, and then it comes back.
You know, she's not just sitting still. She is planning something, and she just might be observing, trying to map out her next move, because this is all bad. It's all bad for everybody, and who knows what's going to happen. Garza might end up dead at the end, but I don't think so. I think Garza and Kira are akin spirits, really, and they just have separate ways of doing things. It's not like the Doctor and the Master. It's not like Sherlock and what's Sherlock's nemesis? Can't remember his name for the life of me right now.
I think at the moment,
Moriarty. Yeah.
Yeah, I think at the moment they're all want the same goal.
Right. They just have different ways to do it. But Garza was at least swayed to do it Kira's way once, and I think she can be again. So, yeah, that's what I think about Garza. We'll see. Next episode's coming. So, New York Comic Con is next weekend, correct, ma'am?
Woohoo! Yes, it is. This time next week, I will be in New York.
So, stay tuned.
New Jersey.
That's right. So stay tuned to when we actually podcast on the next episode. It will not be next Sunday. We'll get a Sunday morning off. Yay. And then we'll have 2 more episodes. And then the next week we will be back to podcast about the finale. And that will all be great. So you're welcome to come on and send a voicemail as you watch the show, 612-888-ARC1 or 612-888-2751. You can send an email. You can send a tweet. And that will be great. We did get some great tweets this week, mostly about Renew Defiance. And yes, keep those up. Hashtag Renew Defiance. But at Born to Eat Bacon, and aren't we all born to eat bacon? I just want to say that. Tweeted us and said, the crazy thing I've been doing is watching season 1 of Defiance and then listening to the corresponding Voices of Defiance. So thank you very much,
sir. That is crazy.
It's not crazy at all. Well, our early podcast. Okay, so the early podcast, just a little warning, we're Shannon's first podcast. So it takes a few to get into the groove and get going. So as a matter of fact, Shannon, this is not just you. I just remastered my very first official podcast yesterday. And it was the first Starling Tribune podcast on season 1, episode 1 of Arrow called Pilot. And while I did passable on it, it wasn't totally bad. My audio really sucked. It was not salvageable.
I can't be embarrassed because I don't listen to our podcast.
There you go.
To me, I sound like a 5-year-old. A 5-year-old hick, so I don't listen to our podcast. I don't like, no.
Yeah.
No.
So after that, Voices of Defiance, it will be closed on Defiance if there is no season 4. So just stay tuned and see what kind of project Sean, Shannon, and Stargate Pioneer, ooh, that's me, come up with next.
You dork.
All right. Do you have anything left to say for the week, ma'am?
Comic-Con.
There you go. Hey, if somebody wants maybe tweet you so that they can link up with you at New York Comic Con on Saturday.
If you want to link up with me?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. There you go.
Shoot me a Twitter.
All right. Okay, that's all I have for this week. Thank you very much to everybody that is listening to the podcast. Thank you to the listener in the chat. We really appreciate you guys. Well, everybody that has been in and out of the chat room today.
Awesome.
We really appreciate it. And we appreciate everybody that's downloading the podcast. It is not on our normal feed. It is on, you have to go hunt and find it. So please, if you're listening to it, retweet and tell us how great we are doing or what you would like to see different. And also, so everybody else can find us as well. We really appreciate that.
Last 2 words, Renew Defiance.
Hashtag Renew Defiance.
Hashtag freaking Renew Defiance. Die-fi.
There you go. There's a little shot for you. All right. That's it for this week. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Voices of Defiance. If you want to get in touch with us, you can catch us on Twitter at VoicesODefiance. Email us at feedback@voicesofdefiance.com. Go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/voicesofdefiance. Swing by our website, www.voicesofdefiance.com, or send us a voicemail on area code 612-888-ARC1. That's 612 888-2751. This podcast is not affiliated with Sci-Fi, the television show Defiance, or the Trion video game Defiance. Music titled after the Apocalypse by Schneeshnook and Rocket Easy by Soundrogue can be found on pond5.com. Catch you next time, and watch out for those hellbugs.
How you doing today?
Doing pretty good. I overslept. I was supposed to get up at 8 so I could wake Carrie up and have her enough time to put her back down. I didn't get up. It's like almost 9 o'clock. So Sean stuck with him, but I got home late last night and I played the game for the first time all week long, so I didn't watch Continuum, so I'm like, I'll just watch it in the morning when I get up at 8.
Yep.
It then did not go as well as planned. So I've been sitting here trying to watch the entire episode with them running around me. It was ridiculous.
Let's see here.
I had to stop it several times. Note to self, don't turn off the alarm.
About to push the big green button.
Push that button.
Push it. O'Hara is clear. Is that like Chicago? O'Hara Airport is clear? Okay. So anyway, look forward to the tweets next weekend.
Comic-Con! Yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited. I'm counting the days. We have 4 days.
All right. You have fun. Broadcast has been successfully terminated.